You're lying in bed. The house is quiet. Then you hear it, a creak downstairs. Your heart pounds. Your palms go cold. Nothing is there. You know that. But your body doesn't believe you. And the real answer for why is far stranger than you think. Your brain isn't broken. It's ancient. It's running software built for a world that hasn't existed in 10,000 years. A world with teeth in the dark. A world where the creak downstairs was sometimes a lion. Deep inside, your skull sits a structure the size of an almond. It's called the amygdala. 2 of them. Actually, 1 on each side. Neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux spent decades mapping what this tiny structure does, and what he found changed how we understand fear itself. The amygdala doesn't wait for your conscious mind to catch up, it reacts first. It reacts in milliseconds. Long before you've consciously registered what you heard, your amygdala has already decided, this might kill you. Think about that for a second. Your rational brain is still booting up the question, what was that sound? While a much older part of you has already flooded your bloodstream with adrenaline. Why would evolution build it this way? Because for millions of years, hesitation was the more expensive mistake. A rustle in tall grass might be wind, 99 times, but the 100th time, it was a predator. And the ancestor who paused to rationally weigh the odds, who waited for certainty, didn't get to pass on their genes. The ancestor who flinched first and asked questions later did. This is called the smoke detector principle, a term coined by evolutionary psychiatrist Randolph Nessa. A smoke detector that only goes off during actual fires isn't a good smoke detector. A good smoke detector goes off constantly, for burnt toast, for steam, for nothing at all, because the cost of a false alarm is annoyance. The cost of a missed fire is death. Your fear system was built the same way. Overly sensitive on purpose. Wrong most of the time, by design. So when you feel your stomach drop at a text that says, we need to talk, or your chest tighten before checking your bank account, you're not malfunctioning. You're running a smoke detector calibrated for lions, now going off over emails. Here's where it gets stranger. Psychologist Arnie Oman ran a series of experiments showing people images of snakes, spiders, flowers, and mushrooms. Flashed so briefly the conscious mind barely registered them. People detected the snakes and spiders faster, much faster. Even people who had never encountered a real snake or spider in their lives. The fear wasn't learned from personal experience, it was already loaded in. Waiting. Oman's research suggested something unsettling. Your brain comes pre-installed with a short list of ancient threats. Snakes, spiders, heights, the dark, strangers' faces showing anger. These aren't things you were taught to fear as a toddler. They're things your ancestors feared, going back long before language, long before fire, long before anything we'd recognize as human culture. And that fear got copied forward, generation after generation, embedded in circuitry rather than memory. But you don't live around lions anymore. So where does all that ancient alarm system go? It goes to work. It goes to the version of danger your modern life actually contains. Rejection, humiliation, failure, judgment. Your amygdala can't tell the difference between a predator stalking you in grass and a room full of coworkers staring at you during a presentation. Both register as a threat to survival. Neuroendocrinologist Robert Sapolsky, who spent years studying stress in wild baboons before turning to human stress physiology, found that this is precisely the problem with the modern human nervous system. A zebra's stress response switches off the moment the lion gives up the chase. Yours doesn't. You can trigger the exact same hormonal flood by replaying an argument from 3 days ago while sitting perfectly still on your couch. Zebras don't ruminate. You do, and rumination means your body can experience the danger of being hunted for hours, days, sometimes years, without a single predator ever being in the room. Have you ever noticed how a difficult conversation can leave your hands shaking hours later for no external reason at all? That's not weakness. That's a threat detection system with nowhere physical to send its warning. No branch to climb, no spear to grab. Just a body, primed and ready, with nothing left to do but sit with it. This is why the modern world feels, in some strange way, more exhausting than it should. You are safer than any human who has ever lived. Fewer predators, fewer famines, fewer wars, statistically, than almost any prior century. And yet anxiety, in its diagnosed and undiagnosed forms, is everywhere. The mismatch isn't in your environment. It's in the gap between what your environment demands and what your nervous system was built to expect. Bye.